Hi everyone, let's talk about mirroring. So let's first get a shape here that we will mirror. Alright, a simple arc like that. Now with the shape selected, you can come up here to this mirror button here, or if you open up vector, I think it's modify, yes, modify mirror. And then click that, and it will apply the mirror node. We can change the center of the mirror with this gizmo here. You can also rotate it to change, its mirroring across this axis. Let's put that back to 0. Okay, and let's look at the different modes that we've got here. So by default, it'll do what's called Weld and Join. Let's come back to this because it'll make more sense as we go through it step by step. So the first option is Do Not Join. So in this instance, the geometry is mirrored across the mirror axis, but that is all. It doesn't attempt to join the ends back together. Now, if we change it to join with a curve, let me adjust this a little bit so it's a little more obvious. Okay, so now it attempts to join, or it does more than attempt, it actually does, join the two mirrored segments together, but it uses a curve type span to try to smooth the join. And what it does is it uses the like reciprocal of whatever the end tangent is. So it'll flip that and use that as the handles for the curve. Now if we say we want to join with a line, it instead of using the curved span, it uses a line span for a straight connection like so. Now if we do weld, what this is going to do is it's going to weld any points that are within this weld tolerance. So, because, let's increase the tolerance a little bit. Let's make it like 24. All right, so now if we adjust the curve, if the mirrored points are within 24 pixels of each other, it will weld the points together. So as we get the points closer, it snaps and welds. So if we then move the second all in also, once it welds, it'll fill as well because it's a closed shape now. So that's what the weld does. Now, if we come to the last one, weld and join. So what that does is if the endpoint is within the weld tolerance, it will weld. If it is not within the weld tolerance, it will draw a span. And it will draw the type of span based on whatever this last, whatever the connecting segments are. So in this case, the arc is making curved spans. You can see there. So the mirror will join with a curved span. If we changed the arc to be lines, it will join it with a line span. So this last one, this weld and join, is kind of like an auto mode. It does whatever it thinks is what you want or what is best for that situation. All right, let me show you one other thing with the mirror node here. So let's say we have these two shapes, and let's select them both. Oops. Select them both, and then we'll combine them together with the merge vectors. So now it's one object. So say we were to mirror this, and let's add some space there. All right, so we have the two mirrored, but say we only wanted this top path to actually join. We can control that through this join mask. So if we turn on the pencil here, we can use any of the modes, but we'll just stay on segment mode. We'll select the top path, Press return, and that is the one set in the mask. So that is the only one that will be joined together. All right, you can take this a step further. Say you don't even want this lower shape to be mirrored at all. You can use this top mask to just specify just mirror this top shape. And so that's all that's mirrored, and that's all that's joined. So that's every setting of the mirror node for you. So last thing I want to talk about, which may come into play quite often, is you want to draw and have it mirrored as you're drawing. So to do that, what you want to do is come up to the vector menu and say create an empty vector. And that will add an empty node. In your scene, it won't visibly do anything because there's no geometry yet. So with the empty vector layer selected, now do the mirror. And this adds a mirror node to the stack, and it puts the mirror axis right in the center of the canvas. All right, so let's turn on the pen tool now. And here's the most important part. You want to select the empty vector node, and now you can start drawing. It's important to select the empty vector node because with that node selected, once you start drawing, it's going to add the draw nodes after the empty vector, but before the mirror node. So let's hit undo a couple times. All right, so let's come back here and say we had the mirror node selected and we start drawing. It's not going to be mirrored because it's adding all these draw nodes after the mirror node, which is not what we want. We want them to be added before the mirror node so that the mirror has an effect on them. So that's that. And if we wanted to, you could still come in and on the mirror, you could say maybe we don't want it to join, we just want it to mirror it across like so. And let's see, I think that's about it. You can also use, let me delete these. You can also use this technique for the pen, or the vector pen tool, where you start drawing, and once you release the cursor and then the shape is actually drawn, then it does the mirroring. Come in, even do fun stuff like that. Okay, so that's the mirror node. That should get you started. Thanks for watching.